Hi, I'm Kate Rose, and welcome to 21st Century Healthcare Consultants podcast, Home Care Today. I'm glad that you're with us. I've got a really great guest with me today, and I can't wait for you to meet him. I'm going to introduce Gary Brazzell, who is the founder and Gary, you're the chief honcho at Brazzell Marketing Agency. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, thank you.
Good. Well, thanks for taking time out of your busy day to come and join me. I want to let you know that we are always interested in marketing because it's something that is often overlooked and misunderstood, and yet it's absolutely critical in the success of any business this day and age. So I'm really looking forward to diving in and hearing your expert thoughts on how things are best played out in the marketing world, and specifically when it comes to the home care agency. So welcome to the show. We're glad you're here.
Thank you. Yep, we can certainly talk about home care.
Tell me a little bit, Gary, about how you actually got started. I know that everybody has a story behind where their businesses come from, but just kind of in a nutshell, what was the inspiration for you starting your company?
So, in one sense, you could say that Frederick Buechner was the inspiration for me starting the company. He's an inspirational writer, 39 books to his name. I think that he writes that the place that God calls you to is the place where your deep gladness meets the world's great hunger. And so I've always known that marketing was going to be part of my calling. So even as a little kid, the moment I figured out that Big Bird was not a career path, marketing was my B plan. And so cut forward to that being my whole life, I had the opportunity to work at a home health agency that did Medicare certified home health, non-medical home care, private pay, and Medicaid waiver services. And while I was there, I implemented a marketing strategy that after 3 months, it doubled their intake in new patients.
Wow.
And I looked at, and I'm looking across the field. This was 25 years ago. No one was helping them. There were a handful of sales coaches out there, but no one knew the industry. Everyone that was trying to help them was giving bad advice because home care is its own thing. It's really different from
it sure is.
Standard Main Street business. And so it's like, oh, well, okay, Freddie, there's the world's deep hunger, and my gladness is right there in that same space. So I've been very fortunate to be living in that place that I was called to, and where there is that deep hunger and my deep gladness for the majority of my professional career.
Well, that's a gift. They always say that if you do something that you love, you'll never feel like you go to work a day in your life.
Right.
And helping people, clearly that's a big part of the story behind the home care industry. I don't think that many people are sticking it out, at least, where they're not motivated and fulfilled by being able to help people who have very special needs as far as their health is concerned. And not just the physical part of caring, but also the emotional and psychological and just holistic support system that home care can provide. And it's a movement that we're hearing more and more about that's becoming important as an auxiliary to the care that people are receiving in traditional hospitals these days. So. Well, tell me a little bit more about your passion for helping people in the marketing field. Did you study marketing when you were in school? Did you have a favorite art teacher or a photography teacher? What was your real catapult, would you say, into this business?
Wow. The catapult was that original calling. I mean, we're going to digress here. When we were little kids, other kids were playing baseball and stuff, and me and my 3 friends, we were inventing things to go sell door to door. And we did. We had a door to door.
What were some of the things you invented?
A little widget that we made out of wood that was a magic trick. They say, look, there's nothing in this, but I can make it snap back. And then we hand carved these magic tricks and sold them door to door. We'd go in the woods and pick musky dimes. Like these wild growing grapes, and then sell those door to door. But
of course,
probably more to the point, I do. And then, so of course, when I picked a college with a great writing program and a great marketing program, which was St. Andrews University in North Carolina. And so got my marketing degree from there, and And then every job switch I had after that was still always very marketing oriented until I finally got to the point where I had enough knowledge that I could say, okay, I actually could be an independent marketing agency now, which is sort of always the goal. But thank goodness I had enough.
And how long ago was that?
20 years. So we're over as Brazzell Marketing Agency over 21 years. And so but then I was at a home health agency before that. So my personal experience in home care marketing is a quarter century now.
Gary, what sets the marketing strategies apart for the home care industry? What is unique about the way you all approach marketing for your clients?
Yeah, so there's value-based. And we have clients. I don't want to paint ourselves into a corner. So I'll lead with the part where we're not in the corners. We have multiple clients with 10 to 20,000 employees, but I don't feel like that's what defines Brazzell Marketing Agency. What's really neat about us and what we've been striving for is we're prepared to work with that company that is a husband and wife at a dining room table, trying to figure out how to build a plane while they're flying it. We're right there with them. So we have entry-level prices that can get them able to present themselves with all the polish of a franchise, but without any of the costs. So we can get them into a franchise grade website for $99. And then by the time we can give them some handout materials, we're up to $360. If their budget's that low, we can make it work. And then when they need to start advertising, because they got to get the phone to ring, we have things that have return on investment for under $200 a month that are canceled at any time, that they can start at a month. And so the majority of our clients who are 10,000 employees and up, they came to us that big, and we're doing some finite thing that they want us to add to what they already can do. But our clients that are all of our clients that are 100, 200 employees usually came to us at the point that they were 2 to 20 employees, usually closer to 2 to 5 employees. And we've walked with them over 5 years to where they can get to the point that they're those, and help them be part of how they have grown their business and are a more influential part in their communities.
If you had to say what your agency's superpower is, what would that be?
Oh my. Our superpower is an old-fashioned, unique thing about us that almost has gone away. We are a full-service advertising agency.
Now, for our viewers who may not know the difference, what exactly is a full-service marketing agency?
Right. So a full-service, I'm going to narrow that to advertising. But so a full-service advertising agency can pick up and help you with any kind of advertising that you're doing. They don't just specialize. You have ones that specialize in TV production and ones that specialize in search. So we do TV production, we do audio production, we do search, we do promotional printing, we do direct mail, we do public relations. So they can come to us and have all of that together, which is very, very good for them because it takes them out. If you're doing it in pigeonholes everywhere, then that puts the agency owner in the role of being a marketing manager and having to be a brand manager, and it makes their life harder. So our whole thing is we make their life easier. And as an old-fashioned full-service advertising agency, we're not doing this new thing where it's like, you pay me, I give you advice, and then you have to go do it yourself. You got to set up your own account with Facebook and Google and all these different things. Like, no. You don't have to do that. If you want to do that, we can work with that. But we want to handle everything. And so you can just get a report from us. You don't have to log in. We're going to send it to you. And then you can see what's happening, and we can talk about how that report's translating into the real world at your agency, which really streamlines the whole process for an agency. and when you're an entrepreneur and owner of a small business, your greatest asset is time. So anything that you can delegate, you do delegate. So we're better at saving them time and better at putting everything together for them than anybody.
Gary, how do you decide what the best strategies are going to be? So let's say I step up as a potential new client at your agency. And what metrics do you use to decide what's going to be the best way to get my business in position to be recognized in the marketplace, to have the reputation distilled out, whether it's through social media or traditional marketing? How do you decide the best strategy for your clients when they come to you?
Yeah, the two biggest things are provider type and age of the agency. So because of our pricing level, we work with a lot of startups. Well, call it even the smallest marketing agencies, and they're usually going to tell you our minimum end's $1,400. If you don't have $1,400 a month, don't talk to me. Yeah, I got nothing for you. But they call us, and depending on what they want to do, it's like, give me $100 and I can make something happen for you. But that also changes the whole marketing strategy. So when they're young, the whole strategy is cash flow. It's like, I'm not worried about whether every senior in your community knows your name yet, because that takes time and money. I'm worried about, are you going to make payroll in February, like next month?
Right.
But there's advertising that's specifically geared to that. So we're saying we're going to invest 100% of your advertising budget in the things that get immediate results. But then we have to say that's not a long-term strategy. That's like living on Twinkies. So it's great to get us started, but for the long term, then we need to think about what is the best way to get a message out on your budget. And so then it comes down to the core. It's like, who's our target audience? Which media is best at giving us that? I'm being too general for this to be useful. Let's focus in on home care. So home care agency, it's pretty formulaic. If they call us and they're brand new, we put them in search advertising, because the search advertising, the advantage of that is you're at the top of searches literally overnight. It's not SEO. So anybody in your service area looking for your services, you're seeing them, and it works faster than any other type of advertising, because your ads are only popping up when people are specifically shopping. So whereas if I get someone to call to you because I did a radio ad, you may have just put the idea in their head. And in home care, the sales process is very long. They have to check with the agency, learn prices, learn what the service is, go to grandpa. Right. Grandpa says no, get the family on board, have an intervention, go back to grandpa, and then so it's 2, 3, 6 months. But a lot of the times, at the point someone goes to Google and says, "What are the home care agencies near me?" they might be 2 weeks or a day. Sometimes they're saying, "I need an aid immediately." We're seeing that in the search results. So they are people who are ready to work now, and so that's why search advertising, it gets so much faster results. And then small businesses like it too, because it's so much easier to measure than other types of advertising.
What piece of advice? Let me interrupt you real quick. Because you're just a wealth of information and knowledge when it comes to marketing for home care agencies. If you were going to give one piece of advice to someone who's just starting to look for their marketing partner, what would that piece of advice be?
One thing besides one thing. What is the one thing? Oh, and they're looking for a marketing partner. The one thing I'd say is find someone that specializes in home care. And there's a few of us. I think there's probably 9 to 12 people who are good at that. And that we're all doing totally different things, which is the crazy part. If you're a home care, and same thing for home health, hospice, all of these things are so unique. A generalized in physical therapy. A generalized marketing agency is going to try to sell your products like they're selling a couch or a pizza, and it doesn't translate. So you have to go
So
farther
what
back
you're,
into
so
the
what you're,
basics.
what I think I hear you saying is that people need to recognize that this is a specific industry. It's in the medical world, but it's a microcosm of that with very specific operations and processes. And to work with a marketing agency that is familiar with those dynamics, the flow of business and development and growth and so on and so forth, that it's very, very helpful to find that niche marketing knowledge and know-how to partner with. Is that fair to say?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
The
So in the last couple of minutes that we've got, I mean, time just flies when we get together, and you are, please, I hope you come back, because there's several things that you've mentioned that I'd love for us to be able to double back on, and I'm sure our listeners would be interested in having you elaborate a little bit more. But I'd love for you to leave our audience today with a success story, if any springs to mind, of a particular client who came to you and in your special way you were able to help them and they are succeeding. Does any particular instance come to mind along those lines?
but since we're crunched for time, I'll give the one that's
Just one.
most generalizable.
We'll save the other three for next time.
I'll give the one that's most generalizable. So this is actually is a client that's a graduate of 21st century, but 5 years ago, and they just sort of been floating along, fighting for every referral, and just fighting for every square inch of growth. And they finally called us. And I don't think they had contacted us, or maybe they got some brochures or something, and then we never heard from them again. But then he pops up, and he's like, "Okay, I've got an investment. I'm ready to make it." He comes to us with basically $1,100 a month, which, and so we put together a plan. But we're just like, we're going to get you a new website for $99 per month because we need a place to send people when we're advertising.
Right.
And so that website is converting at like 12%. Can you imagine if I put someone in your website, 1 out of 8 people call you? So that's a success machine that we're able to set right up for them because we understand every part of it. But then at the other time too, our fees are just plain lower. If you're up in the area where he is, we're charging 35% less than other agencies, which means we're getting higher return on investment, and your costs are lower for what you're doing. And so he's at a point now where he's paying about $24 per direct lead from a client, from a potential client, and so he's going to have a close ratio that's really high compared to like care.com and that sort of thing, because we're pulling directly from the population base and not out of a directory.
Right.
And when people are self-directed, they're not going to call 20, they're going to call 3.
Right.
And so you don't have as much competition. So his close ratios are going to be higher. And we're just getting started because we did a split between push-pull advertising. So we're only seeing the initial effects. The push advertising, which is our audio target marketing, is going to take a while to phase in because that type of advertising requires repetition. And so it's going to get better and better. And so overnight, he went from fighting for every square inch to literally getting a call a day. And then I count all the employee calls. People are calling him for jobs too. For every 1 call he's getting from a potential client, he's getting 3 calls, and I call them, they're practically throwaways, for employment. But that people are struggling for employment. I'm not even counting those in the cost. Those are freebies.
Right.
And so so now it's all he's got to do is close.
Well, and I mean, that's ultimately the kind of success that people would be looking for with their partnership with a marketing firm, because it's dollar per value, and how it's not just how far that a client's money can go, but how effective that dollar is going to be. And it sounds like you've just got a great handle on that, and a unique place in the market as agencies go, because you have that individual care, that ear that listens, you're able to hear what your clients need, and not only that, but steer them in the direction that's going to be ultimately in their best interest, which goes back to why you started doing this in the first place, and that is because you want to be able to help people where they most need help with the gifts and talents that you've been given. So this has been extremely helpful, I know, for me as I've listened to you. And if I was looking for a marketing agency, I'd probably hang up and give you a call as soon as the podcast is over. So thanks for being so generous with your time and your information. And I hope, would you like to come back and maybe give us a little bit more in the particulars sometime in the future?
There is a ton of stuff I would love for your watchers to know. So yeah, let's just get them on all these specific topics.
Great. Well, the name of the game for us here at 21st is that we want to help our clients succeed. And while the industry has certain commonalities and universal things that they need to contend with, every agency is different. Every agency owner is different. Everybody comes to it with a different story, different expectations, hopes, limitations, gifts, and talents. And if we are able to serve them with all of that said, this has been a great time visiting with you. I really appreciate it. Hope you continue to enjoy that beautiful fall weather up in Virginia. I'm, as I said earlier before the show, I'm jealous. So take good care. Thanks for being with us today. I'm Kate Rose. This has been 21st Century Healthcare Consultants Podcast Home Care Today. Take good care, and we'll see you next time.